Hi, my name is Jean-François Dugas. I'm the game director on Deus Ex Human Revolution. And today we're going to talk a little bit about the E3 demo that we shown this year, earlier in June. Before going into that, Deus Ex Human Revolution is an action RPG in which you play a security specialist called Adam Jensen, and you work for a biotech corporation called Seraph Industries. And early on in the game, as the security specialist, you get attacked, you get badly injured, and you're forced to go through augmentations to save your life. And when you come back from the dead, you have new abilities that you will discover as you play through the game, and you'll embark on a quest to find out who were those mysterious attackers at the beginning of the game, and that quest will lead you in several locations around the world, from Detroit to Hengsha, which is a small island offshore of Shanghai. And actually the demo we're going to look at today is set in Hengsha Island. It's about halfway mid through the game.
Okay, and this other voice you're hearing, I'm Charles from IGN, and I'll just be here to ask questions and get additional information, because there's a lot of things going on in this game. And if you just see a straight playthrough, you don't really get a sense of all of the different decisions you can make that can take you down different paths. So I'll be asking about that kind of thing.
Okay, cool. So just before you continue,
and this is the PS3 version, right?
Yes, this is the PS3 version. So at the beginning of this map, like I said, Taeyong Medical is a competitor of Seraph Industries, and through your quests, you're into a lead to go invest what's going on in the other company, and if they have been involved or not in whatever events that you have followed so far. And right now we're kind of a shadow in that company. Nobody knows that we got in there, so we need to make our way through the company and find out some evidences so we can move forward.
Yeah, and then I guess we're coming up on an NPC here. We're going to see a conversation interface. And I don't know if you can just talk a little bit about the different kinds of decisions you can make here, and how that might play out differently in terms of how the conversation winds up going. Yeah,
actually, it's not the beginning of this map. Depending on how you play, there are some events before that sequence where you might be involved in helping someone with something or not. And depending on if you do it or not, you'll have different choices to talk to this character. You might be able to get some hint about someone that you help, and this guy will let you through. Or,
so this actual menu here will
exactly,
change. Okay.
Exactly. And depending, you can try to bribe him, or you can try to convince him in a different way to get past this place, or you can go with the less subtle option and try to get him out of the way and continue your quest, basically.
Right.
So
is 500? Is that a large amount? Is that a large sum of cash? Like, is that a significant investment you're making there if you go to bribe?
It depends. It depends what kind of player you are. If you're the player that is always saving all the credits he finds, 500 might not be a big deal. If you're someone that is really spending your credits into weapons and upgrades and augmentations and things like that, or every time that someone asks you for money, you give it away, you might get there and say, you know, I don't have the money, or maybe I will keep it for something else. Okay. So in this case, we bribed this guy, and I guess this guy needs some money for a new television or something. I don't know, and he says yes.
He's got some very fancy looking armor there.
Yeah, those are not the kind of guys you want to mess with. Actually, they're called bell tower security. They're kind of like Garda type of security companies. And they ensure the security of Taeyong Medical in Hengsha, basically. Cool. So now we really need to go through that building. Taeyong Medical, it's a vertical building, and now we're in the lower part where it's all about manufacturing the augmentations, all the more, I would say, the factory aspect of the company. And we need to go onto the upper parts where it's more the administration, the research department and things like that. So now we need to find a way to get through while avoiding the proper channels of getting in the company, because it's a very this company is very secure and nobody can enter there like that they want and things like that.
Right. So I guess you'll have to do a lot of the hacking mini game.
Yeah, the hacking can be really useful. I mean, you're not forced to do it, but it can be really useful. Here we see a small network where you need to enter from the I/O port, which was the blue orb at the beginning of the sequence, and you need to get to the green orb, which is the registry, and you can unlock the content of that system. And you have the security system, the red tower, that is trying to trace you back to your entry point. Now we succeeded at hacking the device, and now we can have access to a catwalk that we can move in the upper part and have access to other areas that otherwise would be non-available, basically.
Okay, and I'm curious, like, if there's an NPC around you while you're hacking and you're not supposed to do that, will they recognize that and be like, you know, you should really stop breaking into our computer system?
They will warn you, like they will say, hey, you can't do that. But if you pull off, you're going to be fine. If you continue, now they will attract a guard.
Okay.
If there are no guards, then they will just complain alone, and you can hit them and continue, whatever.
Yeah. And these collection mechanics here, where you just go into lockers and that sort of thing, I guess that'll be important for keeping your ammo stocked and everything like that, because for the inventory system?
I mean, yes, we have an inventory system, and one of the key aspects of the game, other than just moving forward and shooting people or sneaking past them, it's to explore the surroundings, because there are a lot of items that you can find. So now in this case, we're in the inventory. We have a grid where we have a certain amount of slots available, and depending on if you explore a lot and you want to collect a lot of items, and you want to collect all the ammo that you might need depending on your playstyle, you can end up with an inventory that is going to be full pretty quickly. So it might be a good idea to invest in some augmentation that will allow you to expand your inventory size.
Yeah, so that's what those like gray boxes are on the right side of the screen. That's inventory space you haven't exactly expanded to yet.
Exactly.
But you could.
It shows you the potential of what you can get if you get the upgrades, basically.
Okay, and this is like an old school call out to the original, where it's like you have to make these decisions, but you can also combine things within your inventory as well.
Absolutely, you can. Sometimes you have, for an example, we have what we call a mine template, which is kind of a device that you can stick to any kind of walls or objects and whatnot. And the thing is that you can combine it with different type of grenades that you have. So you can put an EMP grenade on it, or a frag grenade on it, or a concussion grenade on it, and you can stick it to any surfaces and trick your enemies with that. So depending on what you want to do you want to destroy them, or just like knock them unconscious, or just dizzle them, or things like that. So there are a lot of possibilities like that. But yes, it was for us, it was a nod to the original game, but we are also big fans of Resident Evil 4, and it's kind of a similar formula, and we thought in terms of the choices and consequences philosophy, it was a nice addition, because it always challenges you into choosing, like, okay, do I keep that weapon with me or not? What is really my play style, and what is the best fit for me, and whatnot. So
right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to get too distracted on the inventory screen.
But it's so cool, inventory systems,
I
right?
do. I find inventory systems exciting. I do. Especially when you can't just pick everything up, and you do have to make those decisions. Because then, obviously, if you're playing a stealth guy, it doesn't really make sense to carry around a machine gun.
Or the rocket launcher.
Or something much larger.
Yeah.
Oh, and you have a radial select menu too, so you don't necessarily have to go into that inventory screen.
Absolutely. Everything that has to do with grenades, weapons, or consumables, like nutrient bars to refill your energy bars and things like that, you have the quick inventory that you can use. So we wanted to have all the benefits of an inventory system, but we didn't want it to slow down the experience when you had to quickly select like something that you will use on a very regular basis.
Okay. And are we entering into a combat scenario here?
Yes and no. We're going to try with the silent sniper rifle to take down this guard, to make sure that is not an annoyance. Right now, as you can see, the scope is moving quite a lot. So what we're going to do before shooting, we're going to go into some of our augmentations, and we'll acquire the aim stabilizer, which is going to reduce the amount of bubbling of the scope. So when we go back in game, it's still moving because we're not, we didn't get the latest upgrade that totally annihilates the moving.
So it'll be a still
100% like stable.